And welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa 2. Goodbye, Despair. It's been a while since I recorded this, mostly because I didn't want to do it for the most part, just because I don't want to do another class trial. I was trying to postpone it, I guess, and I also just didn't feel like doing a whole entire class trial, so we're gonna do it now. Okay, here we are. I don't think I have any skills. I do not. Oh, I do. What is this? Decreases delay between when firing truth bullets. Effective during the non-stop debate. Okay, we'll put that on. That's the only skill I have. But we have a skill. That's something. I don't need to do that. And I don't need. Okay, we're gonna start. All rise. Okay.
Now then, let's begin with a stirring if you vote. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go.
Okay.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because
What
Coach
mean?
Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer
He's
is.
much more determined now.
I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Oh.
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
We were going to Monokuma Taichi!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Imbecile.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
I'm sorry, what?
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer.
You have to make it slow.
Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it
Wow.
must be one of you Strawberry House dudes.
Seems kind of sexy.
One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
Calm down.
You're the cruelest one here!
Now, enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
True. I'm guessing that
The
someone
incident
from Grape House
notwithstanding, I also
somehow.
have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well,
What?
the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
You can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The Nagito, huh? The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably... we're either talking about the hammer or the regular chain wire oil on the floor. New looking hammer. But
I guess we
think it
should
was
figure out the
pillar.
weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
He's talking about that.
That pillar, huh?
Oh.
No, the hammer. The killer used that hammer
To hit the
and
pillar.
beat the crap out of him.
What?
If it was unexpected, I
No.
suppose that is possible.
I'll hit that with how do
That's
I speed
right.
up?
It was the weapon is decided.
I'll go with I'll try and hit his
I guess we should
with
figure. The weapon was right there.
That pillar.
No, the killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
No? Okay.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
Oh, maybe
The weapon was right there. at
Maybe
the scene
shoot
of
it with
the
new
killer.
looking
No,
hammer.
The killer used and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is...
That's right. And beat the crap out.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's wrong.
Right.
No, I can't accept that hammer was the murder weapon.
Background is hurting my eyes.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother
God.
cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangster?
What?
Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys.
Uh-huh.
I thought, maybe you guys...
Seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the
Stupid.
real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's
was
the
a
problem.
pillar.
There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about
Yeah.
we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the
The
weapon,
pillar.
right?
The actual weapon has oil on it, but if it's something at the scene of the crime that had oil on it, the broken pillar.
I see.
See? Easy right there.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered
No.
with that pillar.
Nobody
Once again,
could withstand a blow from that pillar.
It's
Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a
well,
weapon.
yeah, you can't wield it.
What?
They hit it with the
Tried to move
hammer.
it, right?
Oh, we did. So I guess it's barely budging? Yep.
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be
But why
real
would
easy.
he?
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid. He ain't the type to commit suicide.
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess
Oh
you're
my
right.
God.
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. By the way, the fourth murder of the killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. So it could be that he killed himself, but I don't think he would.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes?
Yes,
For reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Do
understood.
it, Sonia!
Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
Okay. Make your argument. Wire, oil on the floor, tip of a pillar, chain, and pillar fragments. Okay.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
Go, Sonia.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Tipping
They
it
aimed
over.
right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
Okay. Killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over that pillar. If the pillar was tipped onto Nekomaru, that means it should have been on top of him, right? It's a contradiction, not a substitute. Oh, really?
There's no need to lift that pillar.
Maybe
If the pillar was
I
not
shoot
lifted,
the Sonia's thing with pillar
beating him with it is
fragments.
beyond a
But she
dream.
said-
What about tipping the pillar over?
There. God.
No, that's wrong.
I almost messed that up so bad.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
But he did get hit in the head
I
somehow.
briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
We need to figure it out.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong,
Yeah.
can we? There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter.
gonna
What
go
a
off.
waste of
Yeah.
talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I
Oh.
should lend a hand.
I should mention, like, when I was editing one of my videos before, I noticed that, what is his name? Teru? I think his name is Teru. He has, like, a fork and knife on his picture instead of an X. And Mikon has a plus sign.
Hey, Nagito. What the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
Yeah, why is he
I've
just-
learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
What?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon.
I'm sorry, what?
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory.
You're
It's
confused.
only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
Well, now you're going.
No, you are far greater than the
Wow!
ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
What a simp, Sonia.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of
God.
the funhouse.
Oh, this is gonna take so
The
long.
secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
There's no need to be rude to
Except
me.
for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the
I have to tell
funhouse.
everyone I'm not special. Yeah?
Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower.
Yeah.
It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense,
Sweet.
but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Okay.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
Oh my god. The two houses are connected to the tower in the middle. I thought that at first too, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. Okay.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
Oh shoot, I forgot I was supposed to.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Strange feeling.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
Wow. I didn't think the towers are the same building, but if that's the case, I'm saying it wouldn't explain.
In truth,
I was thinking.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape
I'm
Tower
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
are actually the exact same.
No,
That was
that's
right?
wrong.
Why did I take so long? I should have just went with my gut.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking
They're
that now?
not.
Do you
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall.
Oh yeah.
But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
Very strange.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
bow down?
Whoa! No! 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 No!
Then how
I don't
about
want to
this?
do this.
Somebody
No.
moved Nekomaru's body.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to fight her.
While
Okay,
we were
well,
moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry
it's gonna
Tower,
be great.
but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it.
Oh my god.
While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things
That
around.
doesn't even make any
But
sense.
Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
What? Are you high? Okay. On the floor, tipped over pillar, tipped over pillar fragments and chain.
There are many different ways.
Oil on the floor.
The body
Oh,
and the
yeah.
pillar could have been moved.
The oil on the floor. We have to.
The pillar could have been
Oh,
rolled,
I forgot to. I had to cut stuff.
and Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I said the apprentice is overcoming my arguments with great confidence. I need to counter.
There are many different moved piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
There, I did it. Advance.
Moving the
God.
body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
Yeah. How do you move?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong.
Ah!
Using the pillar, the body, everything else crime.
That, everything.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Okay.
Moving the body and pillar
I saw
is
everything and I was like,
possible, but it would
nope.
have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
That's all I needed. That went much better than past ones.
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
Yeah. stupid Sonia.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea, huh?
This mystery ties into the secret of the funhouse. But we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues. Nagito.
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine.
I'm not asking because I
Tell
want
you
to.
guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
Oh my gosh.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Oh, sneeze. Is he it? Is he talking about the traitor? If so, why did Nagito... I don't even... Now I'm saying it like Hajime. I say Nagito say that all of a sudden. Did something happen to
But
him?
how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
Yeah. He performed the appropriate action? The action that only Nagito did. I seem to recall hearing about it during the investigation too. Tampering with the crime scene, the life-threatening game, Monokuma Taichi, or the investigation. I'm gonna go with
I
this.
see!
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you.
What? Did you take a
At an
picture?
opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final
Okay.
dead room.
Why a camera in the
Took
final
a
dead?
picture?
Yep,
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
see? This is it.
And as he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture. Dun, dun. Whoa!
Let me explain it to you again.
Huh?
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
First floor of Strawberry House.
But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have
Yeah.
been thinking,
Where's the other?
then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Yeah, a lot of things actually. Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this picture.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
Oh, what doesn't make sense in this picture? That right there. This. There's no.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was,
This is weird.
Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which means if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it.
Exactly. So what is this?
But in this
I don't
photo,
understand.
I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
I
So
see.
where is Grape House?
And is that it?
And then we have the whole elevator thing that Nagito said there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo. Which means there are other contradictions contained in it. What else? Is it this? What doesn't make sense? This. I see it! Let me... It's the tower, right? There's only one tower in the picture, and it's the only thing all on.
Crap!
Oh. Sorry. I thought it was... Why is this like cut out? Why are these trees cut? Why do they look weird?
Here!
I was right, it was right there.
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then this is definitely
I
strange.
was like, is it like... Does the house have like
This
more
photo doesn't
levels?
look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
But also the... Oh,
That's right. Good call.
thank you.
In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking.
Wow.
Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student.
Come on.
Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
The other clue? Is he talking about that one time? Why hello there. Why are you here? Oh, he showed up. He teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
What was that thing just now? Another hint to figuring out the mystery behind the funhouse's structure? Through the Nagito appeared from the third floor. Using the photo he took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. Alright, let's do this. What are we doing? Oh, logic dive. Is this the subway surfing? I don't remember the controls. So this is forward. And then I can jump. Okay. Woohoo. Whee. Speed. Ah! Why would you do that? I'm gonna go slow, actually. Take it slow. I don't need to be quick. Like, super fast. Do Strawberry House and Grape House both exist? They exist or they don't? They exist. There's no way. They both have to exist. They have to. Please. Okay. God. This is only gonna get harder and I'm not excited! Oh. Ah. 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 Are Strawberry House and Grape House the same building or two different buildings? They're the same. They're the same. Yeah. Correct. Oh. I hate this so much. Stop. Woo! Ah! Woo! That was fun. Question 3. Are Strawberry House and Grape House positioned with... How are they? Vertically or horizontally? They're Well, they're not horizontally, obviously, because of the picture that we saw. So maybe they're vertically. Maybe they're on top of each other. They are. They're on top of each other. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, we did it. That means that Grape House is on top of...
all coming together.
What?
Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
A smart one.
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There is only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Look at the hamsters. Oh my god, that's so cute.
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings.
They're the same
They're
6-story.
actually one 6-story building?
Yeah.
Think about it like that. Based on
And then
Nagito's picture,
it would make
it's
sense
clear
with
where
the,
Strawberry House is located.
the elevator because it rotates instead of going up and down. Where Strawberry House is located, that should be clear if I look at the photo he took. Floors below Grape House or the floors above Strawberry House is located above or below Grape House? Below? No. Okay. Above.
I see! On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
I never
snap.
expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
Faux
But
show.
what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes.
Kind of strange to
A
think about.
quadrilateral and
Oh,
a
it would
hexagon.
fit.
Overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it?
Wow.
Disregarding the tower, we fully believe the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of
And
the
then the outside
funhouse,
of the funhouse is really ugly, hey? Like a ugly
Monokuma put
brown
us to
color?
sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
That would ruin it.
You've just been Kuma'd!
Mud.
Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Well, we did it.
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House. Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
And why would, what about the...
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple.
Oh.
Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
I'll definitely make her watch me.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
You should give it up. Make your argument. There's no how far, wires, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
A dummy?
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
Okay.
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one?
Shut up! Just pick one of them.
I'm gonna shoot dummy with... I'm gonna shoot dummy with...
I'm gonna solve this
strange
mystery in a
feeling.
flash.
That's the only one that would work.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
one of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a...
Yeah.
No, that's wrong!
Stupid. It was obviously gonna be
Nekomaru's
wrong.
body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
I just thought the parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Oh.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking!
I don't think Soda
right?
would kill anyone.
It's alright.
I really don't.
Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
Disappointing!
Even more disappointed.
However, even
Poor
if
Soda.
Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
Device
Remember
like that?
when we entered the funhouse from one side? How we couldn't enter it from the other? That device is just like that. If you enter it from a specific place, you can't enter it from the other.
Device that transports things to different floors in the same building. And just like the tower, if you enter it from a specific place, you can't enter it from the other. I am lost. I feel like I've seen that before. What, the elevator? Alright, let's do this. Oh. Hangman? Yeah, Hangman's Gambit. I was thinking elevator. Is it elevator? What is a device that moves to different floors inside of an elevator? Doi. Alright. I have to remember what it is. You guys don't understand how good I am at this. Like, I go hard with Hangman's Gambit. But I usually cut it out because it's pretty boring. Okay. Oh. R. Easy work.
I got it!
That went a little, yeah. There.
You must be talking about an elevator.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself.
Ba-da-da.
The inside of the tower is one big elevator.
Oh.
Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator.
Whoa.
So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
Yeah. And that's why you can't enter it.
So that's why we could only
When-
enter it from one side or the
Yeah.
other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Wow.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator,
And how is it in a different...
then why is there a picture of
yeah.
a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower? And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter
To
from
mislead
Strawberry
us?
Tower.
What is there?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
And then we also found the doorknob.
There are too many strange things.
It had
Was
to
that
be.
tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
Well, maybe the...
What did you say?
Only, like, the floor moves up and down. Like, not the walls.
So, let's
So
put
what if
aside
there's
what's
just, like,
changed
a fake door
and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
What? Everything that hasn't changed. So all of the things in that room that didn't change have in common. They were all on the floor. That includes the body, the pillar, and the oil. We've been talking about that stuff for a while now. They all are on the floor. They're not on the wall. There shouldn't be anything strange about them, not even the fact that they all moved with the elevator. The only thing these all have in common, they were all heavy, they were all Nekomaru's parts, they were huge, they were all on the floor!
I see!
I did go with that one.
Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And?
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
Something unique about that elevator? The doors changed, but everything on the floor stayed the same. That means there's no ceiling, it's an enormous circle, you can only enter once at a time, only the floor moves. I called it!
See! So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Actually.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified.
It is a fun house. It was just a
It
throw
was
us off.
actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Monami?
Oh!
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Don't hit her! Oh.
Wait, there's no way that's
Swoon.
gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Because they didn't know the structure.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
So it worked. Like you said, I could probably use this press to repair that button, but seriously, hold on. If you do repair the button, it's gonna have that into the chain on the other side of the door. Chain. The door that leads to Strawberry Hall has a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as that chain is there. Don't need to worry about that at all.
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret
So
of
do
the
they know the
funhouse.
secret, or do they not know it?
The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical
Can it
building.
move while a person is in it?
The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
Yeah.
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed
What is
Nekomaru.
the ultimate weapon?
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I see, now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
I agree, what does this mean? If the two houses are connected vertically, the position of the tower should be the same in both houses. In fact, when my back was facing the elevator in Grape House, the tower was on my right. And when my back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower was on my left. How can I break through this contradiction? I don't know. We may never know. Guess we're gonna have to. How does it move? Contact elevator, negative sudden appearance, broken doorknob. Elevator.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
Going through my screen.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
Oh my god, that face. So Gundam and Sony have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but there's a flaw in their argument. Someone's account should definitely confirm that. Oh, someone's account.
The two houses are connected vertically.
So does account.
The elevator should move.
With what?
Vertically, not horizontally.
That. Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
I'm so smart. I feel like it's
The
either...
elevator wasn't just moving vertically.
I don't know. Cause like...
Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
We're getting no clues to as who it could be.
Me?
As to
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
That. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees.
Oh. So it turns?
It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side.
Oh, what the heck? How even? Huh?
Which means the exit would be on the
How did they
opposite
do
side
that?
once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side
There
when
you
we
go.
arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know.
I suppose.
And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I'm different from these lowly humans.
How dare you?
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru?
we
How'd they
have
combine it
not
with the
figured out
pillow?
any of this.
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now.
He sounds so annoying.
As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
Yes, okay, octagon. That reminds me, an octopus has 8 legs. I wonder if that means anything. Oh my god. Hajime? Hajime. I'm gonna smack you in the face. Do not, like, you learned this in elementary.
8 sides, right?
You learned this in elementary school.
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student,
leave me alone! Leave me alone!
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
The grape house? Sure. The place benefiting of the name Octagon. Grape house is 6-sided. Oh, grape house is 6-sided, and strawberry house is 4-sided. Neither of them are 8-sided. But when you combine those places, a certain place would become 8-sided. Spot selection. Hold on. Right here?
Here! You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse.
Okay, that was like the most basic, boring answer you could have gone with.
The killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru.
Okay, sure.
Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the funhouse from the scenery.
Then it had to be someone who went into the final dead room, maybe? And who would do that?
And then thought of a way to kill, making use of the building structure.
And Gundam did say that he was like, oh, I'm the ultimate weapon. And Sonya's also been talking a lot as well.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon?
He's back to his old self.
Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
Funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon? What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who is the killer who did that? It's one of us. Who could it be? It's not Nagito. Oh, we're on break. It's break time! Woo!
Hiya!
Why, hello there. I thought of a new bad word to call Monami. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to insult and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monami is a serious stoof. What even? That's a much more straightforward than I said. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, ugly. Her jet stream attack incorporating all 3 of these would be ta-da, stoof fatly. There's a fat hidden in there.
Everyone, all together now. Mon ami is a
serious
Stufatli.
Stufatli. I feel bad. Oh, we can save. Why not? Trial! Resume.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. Ugh, my heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Okay, thank you.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon.
Well, I mean, I expected it to be like, you know, something really crazy and...
Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Yeah.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
Why not?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
Yeah, who is the person we're gonna be
Is it
killing?
really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
He's become much more reliable
There's no
recently.
way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What?
What happened to the bastard
Yeah.
who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone
Now.
for your hopes, but
Not
I
anymore.
sincerely retract that remark.
Wow.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily
this wasn't?
sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
Yeah.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's
I
fine.
see.
Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can.
Yeah, please, can we hurry this
Just
up?
so you know.
It's been
It's
hours.
not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Oh yeah, we got
Akane!
at the end, right?
You were drooling waterfalls?
Drooling waterfalls. Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or
Anyway,
not.
if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure? Dead battery, no. Beaten with a blunt object, no, because we get crushed by that. It's none of these. Falling?
I see.
He fell? Okay.
That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
He must have been able to enter from...
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure
Yeah.
where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
This is a kind of cool
Where
way
in
of
that
killing.
building would you
Push
even
them
be
off?
able to push someone off in the first place?
I don't
It
know.
might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Yeah, but don't the doors
Did
don't
you forget
open.
how the elevator functions? When it's
Yeah.
on the first floor, the door on the fourth floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
Well, that's kind of mean. It's okay. I still
But my
like.
gut is going crazy
It's the
right now.
hamsters, okay? My gut is going crazy right now. Nekomaru died from falling. Where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? I was thinking like the top hall thing. If I'm gonna reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Down, 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 down. Oh, it's the wrong. Okay. Good night button.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, You can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim
Maybe
from
if
up there.
you use something to
Then
open it from the
how about
outside.
this? After locking
Like
Mekamaru
breaking
inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
They must have opened
Hold
it
on.
from the
Did you
outside
forget the
somehow.
elevator has a sensor? As
Oh.
long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
But if there wasn't something... So if there's something moving inside
When the
it won't.
elevator is on the
But
1st floor,
if he's not moving,
you can't go through the door on
the
the 4th
only reason
floor.
he wouldn't be moving is because he was
It'd be
asleep.
impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
So I gotta shoot moving object.
How about this?
Did you forget the... As long as there's a moving object...
Yeah!
No, that's wrong.
I put it together in my tiny little brain.
That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
Yep.
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed
Does it like go down
right?
really fast?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner,
Yeah.
Nekomaru would have just
Unless
moved
it was like
along with
super
it.
fast, but then it also takes a while.
There would
sometimes.
have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes.
Maybe they used the wire, because there was wire. They used the wire to hold him up from the top floor so that he wouldn't move down.
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Whoa!
Now you're calling me a pest?
A way to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Turkey seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? Wire, goodnight button, oil, and floor, tip to repair. Okay, wire? That's the only thing we haven't used.
If you arrange it a certain way,
You can,
you
like,
can cause the drop within the elevator.
you
So you're
can-
telling us all
They, like, tied a wire around him
to
and
think
held him
about
up.
the arrangement, right?
And then,
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
the doorknob. They held him
Isn't
up
it
with
about time we went over the
doorknob.
pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
the doorknob. The
The
doorknob!
doorknob on the floor seems to... I agree!
I
with that.
agree! Yes! I knew it.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
Yeah!
The tip of
Woohoo!
that wire was tied into a loop.
So they must have tied it around
If
his
the
head,
elevator
or
moved while
held
that
it,
loop part hung from the door,
and then
if
it
they did
eventually
something
gave
like
in.
that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
People must have been so scared. That would be terrifying. Oh my gosh.
The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode,
And then
tied the
called
tip of
other
the wire into a
elevator.
knot, and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor.
And then called
With
the
that,
elevator.
they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the...
And then eventually the wire... Oh my
and
gosh!
suspended Mekamaru in midair.
That's terrible.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence.
the killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Oh! You! No! I don't like fighting.
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is
Why are
suspended
you
in midair
denying?
like that, then how do you get him to fall?
They must have gave in, or...
Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Look at Hajime's face, so cute. Oh shit. Shoot. Wire... clock's alarm timer? We haven't used that. We haven't used this.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off.
It won't let me.
There's no way they could do that.
It's not letting me. It's not letting me frickin' slice.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
No. Advance. Okay.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
Maybe when he woke up from the alarm.
Nekomaru fell on his own?
When he woke up from the alarm,
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
The alarm.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Because he talked about having one.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in
freak
midair?
out.
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
Wow, what an evil killer.
You woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why.
You would freak out and thrash around.
If something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right?
Yeah.
Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then the doorknob gave way. Or the handle.
Then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off.
But the whole entire thing came
In
off.
actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
Yeah, the whole entire...
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
I hate how they're calling it a doorknob when it's a door handle.
Was that unexpected for the
and
killer
it's
too?
triggering me so much.
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I should use my full power. With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But, clatter clatter. Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1 million horsepower. Ah! Wait, isn't it creaky? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck here. Oh, it broke because he struggled with it at the start. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Dang.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Aww.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Okay.
If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Okay.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Oh, wow.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
Okay, great.
This guy, he gets off on this.
What a
So
creep.
thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. He must have hit the pillar. The only thing I can think of happened to him was he collided with the pillar.
I see.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up
It's all come
colliding with
together.
the
We
pillar.
still don't know who the killer
Isn't that
is.
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
Ow.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon.
Oh.
My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Yeah, we have no
Then what
clue
about
it
the
is.
alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Where would he set it for?
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
Huh.
That's what I want to know!
Mystery I don't understand? Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Alright, what have we not used? Radio clock, that's new. Radio clock. Radio clock.
We headed for Grape Tower before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest
Before 7:30.
was set for 7:30 a.m.
It was.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death from the time the body was discovered.
What is
One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did
if
some
they,
tampering.
Yeah, if they mess with the clock, then the
They
radio.
probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
Okay. I'm gonna try and shoot that. I'm gonna shoot that with.
We headed
the,
for Grape
radio
before
clock.
7 a.m.
But the alarm inside was set for 7.
Nekomaru died.
His time of death and one of those must.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock and...
No, that's wrong!
Yeah. Because then you say it couldn't be?
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it
Yeah.
would have been impossible to mess with.
He said it
So
himself.
you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
Oh.
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
Yeah.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
What?
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding.
I never misunderstand.
Oh.
I'll crush you into dog food.
Whoa. Everyone needs to calm down. This time really did contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what is it? I don't know. Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Which clock was messed with? How was it messed with? And why didn't we realize it? Okay, think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. What are we doing? Another logic dive. Another? Oh, it does. I do have a timer for 7 minutes to get this done. That was a little difficult. Whee! 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 Question 1. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? Where the murder happened, the time in the building, or who the killer is? The time? The time. There's 3 freaking... Okay, yeah. There's 3! There's only 3 right ones. There's only 1 right. And they're adding 3 questions. What the heck? What is this? Oh, no. Crap. How do you do that? Oh my god, this is so bad. Come on. Come on, Hajime. Question 2. Which clock was tampered with? Nekomaru's not. No. The building's clocks. The building's clocks. Building's clocks. We already discussed that they can't be tampered with. So it can't. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Wee! 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 Okay. Question 3, which house had the wrong time? Grape house, both houses, or strawberry? That was both, because they were all the same. So in actuality, it was like really late, and they were all late for Monokuma Taichi. We did it! I did so well.
It's all coming together. You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
All the clocks?
They were all set for
So even if you
earlier,
checked
right?
all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So they
So
slept in.
that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
Quite a bit. Oh, maybe not a whole lot. Because when we heard the pillar sound, maybe that was probably him like hitting the pillar, since now we know how he died. How much was the time off after the killer messed with the clocks? Is there if there's something that could be used as a standard for measuring time, that should be the clue. Alright, I'm gonna find that, and I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Fuyuhiko's account and Akane's.
If the time in the building was all messed up,
Akane's was when we heard the pillar.
then we can
Or
only
him
rely on
hitting.
Nekomaru's radio clock.
So surely,
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
the sound.
Problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that
Akane's
down?
account.
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
Yeah, I heard it.
I agree with that.
I heard it.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru
well, no,
fell?
she's gonna feel bad.
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
Is it because she
You
was in
probably
the
didn't hear it because
room?
you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure
I
out
don't
how
think
much
it
our
matters if
time
she
was
didn't
off.
hear it.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
So, if
Huh?
we
You
convert
can
that,
tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
good job. The rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30. It's like the answer to how much time was off is literally right in front of me. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, or 4 hours. 2 hours.
I see!
Yeah, let's go!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30,
Then that means
that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours?
that's a lot.
much?
Yeah.
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious.
Yeah.
So they could lure out just Nekomaru.
Oh.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Dang. Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing? if they were trying to lure only Nekomaru, then that specific thing is... I mean, only Nekomaru would have known what time it actually was. If so, the specific thing the killer used was the clock's alarm, massage time, Monokuma Tai Chi, or the rumbling noise. Is it Tai Chi?
I see!
Yeah! I'm
That's
like...
it. The
I'm
killer
getting
made
these
use of the
right
Monokuma
now.
Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right?
Yeah.
But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't know, but only Nekomaru
He wouldn't be able
would
to
go,
attend on
because-
time, but that wouldn't affect
Because he
Nekomaru.
has his own clock.
His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
It's because he was going to Monokuma Tai Chi.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. It turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
Oh yeah, because...
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Really? Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
With the alarm clock? Did he...
what the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Huh?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Yeah.
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I don't know. Oh,
Remember,
Nagito didn't.
the sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy
it's
who
not
never
Nagito.
left the lounge.
But it's not Nagito.
We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
That's because he was in the final dead room though, right?
Which means
Oh, wait,
that
no, he
person
wasn't.
does
That was
not
when he
have an
was-
alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Yeah, where... Nagito should have been there.
Who's the bastard?
It's Nagito. It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? It's Nagito. If Nagito's the killer, that wouldn't make any sense. And
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Say
If I
it
may
so.
be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
It had to be like maybe the room they were in.
You're definitely fucking lying.
Like the highest quality rooms, because there's different quality of the rooms, is the highest quality soundproof.
However, that is also true.
Because if Sonia was in a high quality room, she wouldn't have heard the sound either if it's soundproof. That means Nagito wouldn't hear it either, which means that it would make sense.
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House.
The high quality rooms are
soundproof. But I did not hear the
soundproof.
rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
I already know.
To be honest,
I'm too smart.
it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Exactly. It's the high quality
I was in a pretty
rooms.
deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the
What are
three
the
of us
rooms
who
actually
didn't hear a
called?
sound have in common. And I'm sure you'll figure
What are
it out.
the rooms called? Because they're not just high quality rooms. There's the standard room. It's deluxe room, right? It's deluxe room. And then there's the standard room, and then there's the the very low quality ones. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. They were all in a deluxe room. Could it have something to do with the guest rooms they were staying in? If that's the case, then I might be able to figure out what they have in common. I'm just stupid. Oh. Is it deluxe room? DELRONS. Yeah. S. S. Give me an S. Okay. God, I got it very bad at the end. This is probably such a long
Nagito, Sonia,
video.
and
This is
Chiaki.
gonna be a
The three of you were staying in
frickin-
deluxe rooms, right?
This is gonna be so annoying to edit.
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. Soundproof. There we go. So insulation, but it's still pretty decent. Currently has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
You're so mean!
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. I think it's about the features of their guest room, features of their guest room. That person's actions are clearly strange. Because that person might be the killer. I'm sorry, what? Is that what it means? Select someone. Is it the other person who was in a deluxe room? Who else was in a deluxe room? No, I don't remember. Who else was in a deluxe room? Who else was in a deluxe room? Was it Gundam? Was it Gundam? I told myself I wouldn't cry, but if it's Gundam, I'm pretty sure you said he had a deluxe room.
You're the only one!
Oh my god.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Great, thank you. Killing off one of my favorite characters.
When the
Just-
alarm rang
just
at
like
the Strawberry
that.
House
Okay.
Lounge,
Thanks.
you rushed over there too,
Appreciate it, especially
right?
so early in the game.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
why were you able to hear it?
Because what if his little hamsters told him?
Hear what?
How are they? Where are the hamsters won't have a home if he's the killer.
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
Don't want it to be.
Nagito was staying in
I
a
don't want
deluxe
it to
room in
be
the same house
Gundam.
on the same floor. and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
Because he was in the lounge. Oh, yeah.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right?
What if the hamsters set off the alarm so that he'd get distracted?
If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Wow.
Because I was in the lounge.
You did it! You did it, Fuyuhiko.
So the killer couldn't
you're
go
gonna
back
get
to their
Gundam
room
killed.
and ended up hearing the
Why?
lounge's alarm.
Why? Why? It's not. I don't really like a lot of these characters, if I'm being honest. Like, I wouldn't mind if Sonya died, and I wouldn't mind if Soda died, and I wouldn't mind if Akane died. The only one I like Fuyuhiko. Like, he's grown on me, and of course I love Gundam. He's freaking amazing. Have you seen those hamsters? They're adorable. And Chiaki is also, like, if she died, I would be sad because, you know, she's me, basically. So, I would be sad about that. Hajime is the main character, so I know he won't die. And I also, Nagito as well, I would be upset if he died. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld, bellowing for a sacrifice. We got all that noise, so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If
Yeah, you
Gundam
should've
tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been
Right.
the worst
He could've just
possible
pretended he was
outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but
Nope.
how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam?
Why?
Can you at least
What
say
about the
something?
hamsters?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Yeah, what if they heard it?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears.
Look at them.
That means I
You
have
can't.
5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic.
Aw.
The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
Yeah.
I see. You're still holding out.
You can't really deny it now.
You don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this
What?
class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that...
Okay.
Seriously! Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Okay.
Nagito.
Well,
Something definitely happened
we
to
still
you.
have to do the whole closing
Didn't.
argument. Yeah, he was humbled. In a way. Not
At
really
some point
humbled,
during
more
the
like
investigation,
unhumbled.
your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Okay.
You said opening act again!
Oh.
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
Sorry, Sonia.
But
It's
he's
over.
completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic
Okay,
assumption.
He's not giving up.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
We're not done with this, apparently.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side.
He must have gone through the final dead room and then got the ability to go between places.
If so,
With whatever
the human
passage
who used the
or whatever
elevator
thing
would have left it at Grape House.
Nagito used.
For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
It has.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans?
Oh,
You
I got my
cannot overcome this contradiction.
Why did it have to be? That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. I can't be. You know what? Whatever. I'll get over it. It can't be like the first game. It can't be like the first game. I need to get over it. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Make your argument. Good night button, contact elevator. Well, I have already used all of these. That doesn't make any sense.
That
I've used all of
elevator
these.
was the only means of travel between the
thought it
two
was like-
houses. As long as that elevator was broken,
Travel. We have to hit
your
that.
assumption collapses.
But none of this fits.
Plus, the elevator
Should I
was
copy? Do I have to copy? Do I have to copy? Copy?
broken at Grape House.
No, it's not that.
If the killer cannot return to
I have
Strawberry
to copy.
House,
Since I was at Strawberry
Okay, it's
House at that
It's
time,
holding that.
there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
There's gotta be something I can
It
copy.
would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret
That,
passageway.
How much longer do you plan to
Okay.
lecture me?
Why is it so
Why don't we stop
fast?
this
It's
already?
that. I have to copy that. and then hit the only means of travel.
Elevator, the only means of travel.
I've worked out
As long
every
as that
equation.
your assumption was the only means of travel.
Yeah, let's
No,
go!
that's wrong.
Oh, Why?
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then
Yeah, it
why don't we
does.
ask the person who actually used that method?
As well. Also use it. Nagito. Yeah.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Or maybe.
There's a
I
secret passage
teleported.
connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
Is that really my only talent? Like, the fact that I'm
But
nothing
you're right.
special?
There's a
There's
door
gotta
on
be
the floor of the
something. I can't be
Octagon,
useless.
which is on the first floor of Strawberry House.
I thought it was gonna be like another situation with
After I opened the door and went down.
Kyoko.
Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you
So,
want.
Gundam went to the final dead
If
room.
they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
No! No!
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
This is gonna be so annoying.
There's no way
Yeah.
they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
You're making me mad, Gundam!
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
If you value your life, you should stop.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Please. Just stop. This is already painful for me. There's so many of these. We're gonna run out of wire to the pillar. I don't even know which one it is.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you
these so-
use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Mommy, I can only use so many cuts.
Turbid box doesn't exist. You could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Ah!
I can't back down!
Ah! Yes! That took me so
I already
long.
proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Movements try providing evidence that the killer went to the Octagon, right? If that's the case, I should have it too. The key which dwells in the light that will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of
The
your
wire,
own reasoning.
right? Because where would you get wire
You say
from?
the killer went to the. If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind.
Wire.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Where would you get the wire from?
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
Yeah.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, There's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
Oh.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
No, I don't want
It
to
seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
I don't like doing
But
this.
there's
It's
no
so
reason to
boring.
waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
What?
Hey,
What are you?
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Who knows?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
Yes, you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I'll provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. I still have to do this closing argument. Oh, panic talk action. Ah! I forgot!
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Thrust as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him?
Darth Davis!
This is the end!
No.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
No!
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes.
Yeah, they're
right?
pretty talented. A mystery of evil in accordance with our ancient contract. The time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through. Press the button. Yeah, do that.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How could you?
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Great. I still have to do this. I don't want to. This is boring. This takes so long. Who set the lounge's alarm clock? This? No. Get over. It's 5 a.m. right now. It's 2:40 a.m. There. Who was in the lounge since early morning? No. What time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaru? Alarm set for 5:30 a.m. It's 5 a.m. right now. Nekomaru's weakness is the wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet? No. The killer destroyed what after leaving? Was a fake weapon left at the tower? The hammer. Who gathered at the lounge? Why did Nekomaru fall? Last stop. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Oh, look at that. Woke up at... Who was in the lounge since early morning? Nekomaru's weakness is... Little hamster. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. Alright, what was the fake weapon left at the tower? And the last one, I woke up at.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Okay. Alright, let's let Hazume take over.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there.
Hamsters.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good
With the
night
power
button on
of
the back of
hamsters.
Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door.
Could you?
This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out.
You made the hamster set off the alarm? Oh no, it just went off on its own. Okay.
The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Oh!
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Thank you.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that!
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
I don't want to watch him die. I liked Gundam. Okay, I got an A. Sweet.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your
Sad.
vote.
If he kills the hamsters,
Who will be chosen as
I'm
the
deleting this
blackened?
game.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
You idiot. Does he even have a tongue? Well, there it is. It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the result, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay! I said that all without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Oh, now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but doesn't that mean the incident is over? We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well!
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made a Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight, that is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost. And died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of
You
causality.
done? If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain! Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse, and I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Oh. Showdown! Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, staying face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru, since my subtle killing intent instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Oh, what a brave guy. Instead, he chose a fight that risked his life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
Huh?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
So comforting.
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I'm hungry, man. That's why I did it.
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Oh, man.
Nekomaru need I. Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire.
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We are all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong. I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell
However,
you this.
What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation. Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. What do you mean you would rather die?
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
My cat is here. Come here. Yeah, go ahead, lay down. Giving up on life, that is just an insult to life itself.
Let me
Have
ask.
you fools ever heard of the term dog eat dog? Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life instead?
I shall engulf
If
this
a world
world.
would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death, it is nothing but a blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It's a violation of the natural order.
You.
Are you saying that all that to try and justify what you did?
But...
It sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
Okay, my cat is being annoying. that man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall,
but
mighty.
Even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
What about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
History's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools. See? I don't want him to die.
Fade like dust in the wind.
He's like trying to deny it, but in the end he did it for us. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yay, got it. I have prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait!
This is just too much.
I beg of you!
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Miss Sonia.
I beg of you!
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam.
It's time to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind. However...
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction?
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh no. I was doing so well. I'm gonna cry. Look at the hamsters. They look so
Are you
sad.
worried about me?
Ah!
Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously!
I can't laugh. It's just so sad.
That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not crying.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
What the heck is this? Oh, it's breeder, so Stampede, ultimate breeder execution. It's just gonna get trampled. No! What about the hamsters? Oh, he put them aside. No! He put them aside! Oh, he's gonna fight back. Oh no, he's doing a circle? What? Oh. No! Stop! Oh my god, stop! What even? Okay. I'm gonna have to calm down for a moment because I can't voice act right now. Hold on. Gundam! No! Oh, it's over. Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still lingered deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it! I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of it. Every last one of you. Oh. But I'm the worst?
Worst.
Why am I so weak?
Oh.
It's such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends.
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us.
You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that.
Hey!
So how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on! How much longer are you gonna keep doing this? Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? How long is this gonna continue?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
Hold on a sec, that mood shift is too fast.
It's not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomura said. That's what it means to live, right? Oh, she's crying.
Huh.
She's certainly something else. But seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
Then let's go back for now and eat. And then after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then let's do our best again.
Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trial has come to an end. And once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. But despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our very best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial, but at that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Who, Nagito? I'm guessing? Yep, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from the simple game of Russian roulette. Oh jeez. that's evil! Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information. Oh.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they've reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this. What? Ignore what? Oh, the bomb.
Monokuma appears!
You know what? I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna end it right here. And call it there. We did the whole class trial in one video. I'm proud of myself. I think I did just fine. Very sad. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry when we found out it was Gundam. And I cried anyway. I cried a lot. Just so you guys know, I know I probably seem really stupid for crying over not real things, but I liked Gundam. Just like with the characters in the first game, like Chihiro and Mondo, and I didn't cry with Chihiro's because I didn't really know her that well. She was like the second death. But I still loved Chihiro. Did I say her? I meant him, I'm sorry. Mondo cried a whole lot. It was very low energy after he died. And then Taka, I also cried quite a bit. But you know, as I go on with these games, I'll only get stronger. And I'll be able to handle it, hopefully. I mean, I'm a crybaby, so I'm not sure how much of it I'll be able to handle, but I guess I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye!